What's up, guys? Back with Barber here. I'm going to explain to you something about working for a barber shop and working for a barber brand. There's two differences, okay? I'm going to break it down easy. When you go to Starbucks and get a coffee or Dunkin' Donuts, or you go to McDonald's and get a burger, no matter what McDonald's you go to, or no matter what Starbucks you go to, it's going to taste the same. It's going to be made the same. That's because they have a brand. You might say franchise. Franchise means separate owners own the same brand, but different owners own it, but it's still a brand. When you work in McDonald's, are you allowed to wear a shirt, a different shirt other than a McDonald's shirt? No. Starbucks, are you allowed to wear another apron that doesn't say Starbucks? One that says, Master Coffee Maker, Jeanette's Coffee, whatever? No, can't do that. So you have brands. When you work for a shop that has brand, that's a brand, like my shop. My shop is a brand. And every shop that I open that's named the same is going to have the same service, same atmosphere, same tables, same chairs, same service, same cleanliness, okay? When you work in a regular barber shop, you could just go in there, do what you want, have your own capes, have your own, do whatever you want, this and that. That's an unorganized situation. No quality control there. Supercuts, sport clips, those places are known for not giving the best haircut. Every single one is known for that. Now, there are some good barbers that do work in those places, so I'm not going to take away from you if you're one of those barbers. But those places are all known for giving not the best haircut, because the brand is set up that way. They hire fresh people out of school. There's no real quality control. So any supercuts or any place you go to, you might get a good cut from someone. It's hit or miss. It won't be consistent. You might get a good cut from a OG barber that's working in supercuts, but it's not. You're not going to get an OG barber in the next supercut. So there's no consistency. Okay. I mean, there's consistency as you're not going to get a good cut. My shop is a brand. When you come into my shop, brand shops have all the same aprons. All the barbers wear capes. I give my barbers aprons that all match. I give you jackets that have my name on it. So you're working for a brand. If you work in a barber shop that's just a shop or it's unorganized, it's just a barber shop. But if you're working for a barber brand, it's a big difference. Okay? And I'm pretty sure that most barbers that have more than one shop try to keep everything the same in all their shops. So you could say, hey, I went to Jose's barbershop in Claremont, and then I went to Jose's barbershop in Atlanta. Same experience. All their shops are good. That's called working for a brand. There's quality control in this brand. When you guys work for a shop, make sure you know if you're going to work in a brand shop or you're going to work in a barber shop. A barber shop, pretty much, you can walk in there, do whatever you want. If you want to keep your station dirty, the next guy wants to keep his station clean. You want to have a cape that says, I love trees. The next guy wants a cape that says, I love grass. That's just a barber shop. It's unorganized. It's just a place to go get a haircut. But when you go to a brand shop, anyone who goes to your brand is going to expect to have the same quality when they go to your other shop because it's a brand. So for barber owners, when you have a brand, say if your brand is called Infamous Cuts, you want to make sure that all your chain of Infamous Cuts are all doing the same thing, the same cleanliness, the same aprons. You want the same atmosphere. So you want to have the same kind of chairs, the same kind of tables, the same decor. So you have the same feeling at any shop you go to. You guys need to remember, when you go to a shop, you can't go in and try to change shit in someone else's shop. If you want to do that, get your own shop. Seriously. Get your own shop and do what you want. Get a suite. I realized from my experience, I can't hire any barbers that have either worked in a suite or had their own shop, because they've already set their ways, which is good. They have their mind focused on how they want their shop to run. But in my shop runs a certain way, and you have to follow my rules, and everything is towards my brand. In my shop, You don't bring your own capes. I provide you with capes. I even clean them and provide you with fresh capes, as many as you need, but they all match. Right now we have striped capes, but I'm going to get some Santana capes. And any store that I open from now on, barbershop, will have the same capes. So when you go to Santana's barbershop here, and you go to Santana's barbershop somewhere else, you're going to get the same experience. You're going to feel like you're in the same place. That's a brand. Old school barbershops like, hey, do it yourself, unorganized shops where you don't know what kind of cut you're going to get. It's unorganized. In my shop, I micromanage the haircuts. If you're doing a cut and the cut does not look good, I'm not going to call you out in front of people, but I'm going to say, hey, man, just get that collet cleaned up a little bit on the down low without the customer hearing. But that's because I'm trying to keep my brand strong. So barbers, when you go to work in a shop, make sure you want to know if you're working for a brand or you're just working in a shop. When you're working in a shop, it's going to be a little out of control. You'll have guys smoking weed out back, and it's some shops, not all shops, but you have some guys smoking weed, you have some guys that are churchy, some guys, it's just every single station that you jump into is like a different town. Okay, that makes sense. Each station's a different town. In my barbershop, every station is the same town. It's just there's different people living in the town. And everyone knows that we have to function to keep the town with a good name. So that's where branding comes in. So a lot of you barbers that just want to go work in a shop, if you want to do your own stuff and your own capes, don't go work in a brand shop, like a big fancy shop. The shop that has the big fancy storefront, it has, the fancy naming and the fancy branding that sells branded shirts. You're working for their brand. You're not working for their shop, you're working for their brand. Okay? The first shop I worked in was a free-for-all shop. But we all had the same capes, we all had the same jackets, but there was kind of no quality control. My shop, there's quality control. I try not to micromanage haircuts because if you don't know how to cut hair, you shouldn't be working in my shop. That's just how it is. I'm not the best barber. I just try my best to make sure every customer's happy. And you can't make every customer happy. But just so you guys know the difference between brands and regular shops. So when you go to a coffee shop, just Bill's coffee shop, his coffee tastes good. And you go over to Jose's coffee shop, his coffee tastes different. But when you go to Starbucks, any Starbucks, they all taste the same. You go to McDonald's, you get a Big Mac. Most of the times, they're all the same Big Mac. They're a shitty fucking sandwich. You go to Dunkin' Donuts. Now, it can change by franchise. It can change by the owner being cheaper on what they're using. But most of the time, it's the same thing you're getting. When you order frappe, macchiato, whatever the hell it is, it's going to be the same in any Starbucks you go to. So you guys need to realize when you work for a brand, you work for that brand. You're representing that brand. When you make a haircut, when you do a haircut and the person walks out the door, my name's on it, not yours. You're working for my brand. So for those of you barbers who are just getting into it, and if you owners that are making shops, you got to decide if you want to have a brand barbershop or just a free-for-all barbershop. Everybody cuts hair, no quality control. Those usually don't have the best Google reviews, those places. Brand shops have a different rating of Google. But just so you guys know, to make life easier on barbers, find out what kind of shop you're working in. If you're working for a brand, you got to respect that brand. If every shop has certain decor in it, like you go to Cracker Barrel, they have the same decor in every single store because Cracker Barrel is a brand. Santana's Barbershop's a brand. The shop I have now, my next shop will have the same decor on the walls. That's what it's going to be. So just a little heads up for you guys that don't know the difference between a shop that's a brand and just a regular shop that's a shop. I hope this helped you guys out. Hope it makes life easier on you. And all of the business owners, decide what you want to do. Do you want to be a free-for-all shop or a brand? Out.